light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. You, now let's look at somebody and say you. Ready? And whoo! You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. Now listen up. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine, yes, we shine, and we shine so bright. Now we shine, we shine, we shine, we shine, we shine, we shine, we shine so bright.
I want to thank Victoria and Sylvia, who, you know, she just all the time shows up when we need this, and I really appreciate both of them. And Victoria puts up with me, so I have to really appreciate her. Thank you, Victoria and Sylvia.
You're welcome.
You okay?
You're welcome.
Come on in.
You're welcome.
Here. All right. Tell them what we're doing first.
What?
We're going to take you into meditation. Shh, we're not now.
There's people here.
Yeah, I know.
All right. To be or not to be? That is the question. There is a pattern of God behind our personality, seeking unique expression through it. And to this, we should surrender everything we are, for this surrender will not lead us away from reality. It is not an escape, but a revelation and instrumentation of something greater than we appear to be. Each and every creature is a unique word of God, with its own message, its own metaphor, its own energetic style, its own way of showing forth goodness, beauty, and participation in the great mystery. During our silent meditation, I invite you to contemplate this thought. I am greater than I appear to be. I am greater than I appear to be. one source. One source, one force, one force. The force of good, of God, the true reality, the ultimate creation, never ceasing to expand. God is all there is. God within each and every living creation, be it rocks, water, animals, people, the universe. All good and expanding, greater than our imaginations can take us. And yet, we come together in community to pull everything together and uplift it and say yes to everything that will move us forward and upward, giving thanks from our hearts for the connection here and beyond the walls, across the globe, online. We thank God for the technology that allows us to celebrate this day, this togetherness, this music, this everything. We are here to become more, to be and grow and step forward with great delight, celebrating the day that God has made. This is it. We're in it to win it. Yes, indeed. And so I give thanks for the beautiful messages that you're going to hear from our beloved ministers, Michelle and Suzette. They are incredible. You get to hear the music of a songbird that's on the other side of the world. What a celebration. Let us call it good. Thank the technology and thank the togetherness. We know we belong as one whole, beautiful creation that is greater than it appears to be. And together we say, and so it is. All right. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce Lauren Grace. And she's going to sing, I believe. Yeah, he knows. There she is. Okay.
Good job.
All right.
So Lauren, do you want to say anything?
Mm-hmm.
Which screen is she going to be on? This one, okay. Should be over here.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Here she comes. Lauren, you want to say anything to us? There's a delay, ocean.
I'd love to just say thank you. Yes, I'm trying to.
Go ahead. It's a recording. It's okay. There's technology, we're figuring it out. There she is.
Oh, now she's over here.
That's right.
That's great.
be at peace in my awakening. I release with my heart, free my soul in my awakening. I am whole. Om Shanti. Om Shanti Om. Shanti Om. Shanti Om. Shanti Om. Shanti Om. Shanti. Om Shanti Om. Shanti Om. Shanti Om. Shanti Om. Shanti Om. Shanti. As I love and as I give in my awakening, I choose to live. Give me strength. Shine your light in my awakening. I clear my sight. Om Shanti. Om Shanti Om. Shanti Om. Shanti Om. Shanti Om. Shanti Om. Shanti. Om Shanti Om. Shanti Om. Shanti Om. Shanti Om. Shanti Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Shanti
Wow.
Yeah.
You can go ahead.
Oh, okay. Oh, good morning. Good morning. Good morning to Om, and good morning to One Heart, One Mind. And I always feel like we create this kind of sacred space when we come together as two spiritual families. It's I don't know. We get to stand on the spiritual truths that we believe, and we also feel united in that, and all that does is just make the spiritual truths we stand on even brighter, and larger, and feel them more deeply, and the connection that we share within them. And I really feel like we're not here by accident. That we've been woven into this sacred moment together through our shared love and belief and peace and all of the things that we experience in our philosophy. And I love that. So I just want to invite you to take a deep breath and to look around the room and look in the faces of your brothers and sisters, because we're all one big spiritual family here, and notice or recognize the light in them. Notice the light in yourself that is expressing itself to your brothers and sisters. And just honor that. Just feel that presence, feel that circle of love that we create here. And I invite you to say this after me. The light we are seeking is already within us.
Light we are seeking is already within us.
And when we get together and create this circle, in this extended family, if you will, we get to experience who we truly are. Because we can recognize it in each other, and we can feel it in ourselves, and the light within us, that brilliant, luminous light, divine being that we are, gets expanded, and we feel it more deeply, and we feel it in ourselves, and we recognize it in others, and on all life, really, but in this room, in ourselves and others. From a metaphysical perspective, light really represents the presence and the activity of God in the world around us. We feel that, we recognize it. That's what the metaphor of life really is. It's just what we see with our outer eyes and also with our inner eyes. We can feel it. Now I was thinking about all the ways that we experience light and the metaphysical meaning of light. It's not just physical illumination that happens out there. It's also the way that spirit makes itself known, makes itself present in our lives, that we can recognize who we are. It kind of awakens the unity of life. I suppose in some ways it's a light just connects us. Light connects us like the Christ mind or any of the things that we experience when we're present with the divine. That's what happens here when we come together. And one of the ways that I think, well, actually a couple of ways I think we experience the light is in consciousness, as a spiritual awakening almost, that we're divine beings, and we realize that ignorance, fear, all doubt, all those things that we experience in our human time and space reality occasionally, that they're not really real because they're out of harmony with, they're out of sync with the divine presence, and by extension with us. So we know light in consciousness. We know light in our body. You can feel that presence, right? You can feel the light within, and it just, you can feel the presence of the divine and how it makes you connect with each other. Because really, we feel the presence within our body. Our emotions. We feel joy. We feel peace. We feel that connection. And we can define that as the light, the presence of the divine. And then we also experience it as activity in our lives. We experience it as a moment of kindness, when we just express ourselves with love and however we want to express the divine presence in our world. We feel it when we engage with its expression, so to speak. And every great tradition has light as its metaphor. Everything that I can think of, and we don't have to try to become brilliant luminous beings. We already are.
Right.
We're already there. It's just a recognition and removing anything that stands in the way of our full experience and presence of that light, that divine light that we experience with our inner and our outer light. I suppose it'd be kind of like, sometimes we forget who we are, right? And as I was saying, we come together when we remind each other. Just as if we're having a really cloudy or rainy day, we might forget that the sun is still actually shining above the clouds. And sometimes we forget that God is still the presence, even in the middle of our challenges and the things that we go through and experience as human beings. I've just gone through a really interesting experience with extended family. I have 3 stepchildren, and it was really a difficult period of time for us to walk through. And what I realized was that the universe really does have my back, that the light is always shining. And I began to see the good that was rising up from this challenging experience. Some things took place that we may not have, that we would have put on the back burner and not dealt with until it was even more difficult. So I can see that even in the challenges, the light's still shining. And when we come together like this, when we ask for help, we support each other in remembering who we are. We can stand with our lives and that are true, whether the sun's shining or not. Even on the cloudy days, they're still true because we are, right? Brilliant, luminous beings. I love that title. And Suzette was right. It is kind of fun. So when I lived in Oregon with my husband, we lived there for 12 years. We've been here for almost 10, so it's been a while since we were there. We lived on 5 acres of a pretty heavily wooded area. Not completely, our whole place was wooded, but a large part of it. And sometimes when I'd had a challenging day or something was up and I needed some quiet space, I'd go out and walk in the woods. And, no telephone, no distractions, just me and nature. I'd listen to the birds, I'd hear the wind moving through the trees, and just being present with what I consider to be my temple, nature. And so this one particular day, I was teaching because I was an elementary school teacher and a minister at the same time. It was interesting. And I went out and I walked in the woods, and it was right about, that time when the sun is just about to go down below the horizon and there's that kind of light that comes at you at an angle. It was that time of day, and I could see the rays of light filtering through the trees. And I had this moment, I call it a miraculous moment of at-one-ment, where I could see the light, and I could see all the little particles of dust floating around in the light. And then after a while, I felt like the light wasn't just coming from the physical illumination of the rays, but that it was beginning to come from me. I was in it, and the trees were in it, and the birds were in it, and my experience was in it. And it was really beautiful. It, again, just felt like this miraculous experience of that one-ment. And then, quickly, it shifted, and the sun began to go down, and the light was different, but the feeling of being in the light stayed. So we don't always have to have the sun to feel the experience of being the light, of being the brilliant, luminous, divine beings of light that we are. And that experience and those experiences that we have, because we usually have them every now and then, remind us that we're never alone. We're never solitary. We're one with everything. And that presence is within us, and we can call on it and have it burn more and more brightly anytime we choose. That we truly are at one. And then what happens is that when we feel it so permanently that it becomes a part of our being, that we begin to express it into every situation that we find ourselves. We reveal it and express it with our friends and our family and our communities and our acquaintance. It just emanates from us as who we are. It's sometimes takes a little practice, but it's always there. It's never far away. We're always right in it. And I really believe that creative law, which is how we design our lives, which we create through creative law, through our thoughts and our feelings, I think that creative law hears our vibration and the sense of our being in the light and being who we are more than it hears our words. That's how we create. We live in the presence. What's the thing I always say? Consciousness precedes form in every way. So when we resonate with that light, it always shows up. And it's really super important for me to talk about spiritual principle, to talk about theory, to talk about the reality of what we live on or in, what our relationship with the divine presence, God, spirit, whatever you want to call it, is, and how we can cultivate that, and how we're all one, all of those spiritual principles that we teach in Science of Mind. But it's also really important to me, I call this the advanced course to, theories, Spirituality 101, and the advanced course is recognizing in the world and living it. So I think there's quite a few ways that we can nurture that connection, seeing that light within us as we recognize it in the world. A few ways that we recognize it in the world is those moments of clarity and of compassion and connection that we feel. When we have a challenge in front of us, and we know that there's an answer. We don't know what it is right now, but we bring forward that moment of, oh, that's it. We're listening to that higher self, that God self within us. And then we share it with the world because we're like, oh, I'm feeling this way. This power and this presence is in you as well. And when we realize that sharing our light doesn't diminish us in any way, that we can give from the infinite nature of our being, and sharing it only makes it shine even more. We can never be diminished by giving our light. Just like one candle lighting another candle, you just have more light. You just have more love. You just have more beauty. Mm-hmm. Just have more everything. Let's see, what else was I going to say? And we just experience that light when we're kind, when we're generous, when we hold the door open, for somebody, or we help a friend, or whatever it is, or whatever we do that expresses our true nature and our true divinity into the world. I see it as light shining from us, and that's what another way we experience it. Let's see, and those moments when you just feel alive, you just feel, wow, isn't it great to be alive in this world? And you just have that sense of gratitude that just raises your vibe and gives you more, and life returns to you more things to be grateful for. Michael Beckwith says, he tells that story about when your parents tell you, if you don't stop crying, I'm going to give you something to cry about. And he says, if you're grateful for life, the universe says to you, if you don't stop being grateful, I'm going to give you more to be grateful about. I love that. So I'm just going to be as kind as I can, spread as much love. Oh, and also, when we have those moments of creativity, like when you get this idea that, oh, I want to do this, or I want to create this great meal, or a great painting, or just be fully present, enjoy every moment of life. Those are the ways we see the light in the world. Mm-hmm. Those are the ways we experience it. Mm-hmm. So as I was putting together my talk today, I thought about this great story that I had read years ago. It just popped into my head. Moment of clarity, moment of inspiration. And it came from the guy who wrote Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. His name is Robert Fulghum. Yeah. And this one is from another book called It Was on Fire When I Lay Down on It. He's very clever. And I was going to just give you the Reader's Digest version, but he writes it so beautifully, and I just didn't think I could improve on it. So I'm just going to read it to you because it's just so beautifully written. So here's what he wrote. At the last session, on the last morning of a 2-week seminar on Greek culture, led by intellectuals in their field who were recruited by Dr. Alexander Papaderos, Papaderos rose from a chair in the back of the room and walked to the front, where he stood in the bright Greek sunlight of an open window and looked out. We followed his gaze across the bay to the iron cross marking a German cemetery. He turned and made the ritual gesture. Are there any questions? Quiet quilted the room. These 2 weeks had generated enough questions for a lifetime, but for now, there was only silence. No questions, Papaderos swept the room with his eyes. So I asked, Dr. Papaderos, what is the meaning of life? The usual laughter followed and people stirred to go. Papaderos held up his hand and stilled the room and looked at me for a long time, asking with his eyes if I was serious, and seeing from mine that I was. I will answer your question. Taking his wallet out of his hip pocket, he fished into the leather billfold and brought out a small, round mirror, about the size of a quarter. And what he said went like this. When I was a child during the war, we were very poor and we lived in a remote village. One day on the road, I found the broken pieces of a mirror. A German motorcycle had been wrecked in that place. I tried to find all the pieces and put them together, but it wasn't possible. So I kept only the largest piece, this one. And by scratching it on a stone, I made it round. And I began to play with it as if it was a toy and became fascinated by the fact that I could reflect light into dark places where the sun would not shine. In deep holes and crevices and dark closets. It became a game for me to get the light into the most inaccessible places I could find. I kept that little mirror, and as I went about my growing up, I would take it out in idle moments and continue the challenge of the game. As I became a man, I grew to understand that this was not just a child's game, but a metaphor for what I might do with my life. I came to understand I am connected to the source of the light, and the light is truth and understanding, and it will only shine in the dark places if I reflect it. I am a fragment of a mirror whose whole design and shape I do not know. Nevertheless, what I have, I can reflect light into the dark places of the world, into the black places in the hearts of mankind, and change some things in some people. Perhaps others may see and do likewise. That is what I am about. This is the meaning of my life. And he took his small mirror and, holding it carefully, caught the bright rays of daylight streaming through the window and reflected them onto my face and onto my hands folded on the desk. Much of what I experienced in the way of information about Greek culture and history is gone from memory. But in the wallet of my mind, I carry a small, round mirror still. Are there any questions? So I offer this blessing. So let's take a breath. Let it ground us in the spiritual truth that we are bright, luminous, divine beings of light. We are radiant beings of light. The brilliance of spirit shines through us. Wherever we go, our light blesses the world. We are brilliant, we are luminous, and we are eternal. And so it is.
Wow. Okay, you ready for cake? That was great. Thank you. You are amazing.
Aw,
You really are. You really are.
bless your heart.
Yeah, I just,
As well as you.
well, thank you. Thank you. So today my part is about how do we put this together? How do we implement this in our lives? It's really easy to go around and say, I'm God, I'm luminous, I'm this, I'm that. But the truth is that illumination has to come from within. And it has to then go out. And I love how you talked about the rays. I can remember as a little girl sitting and looking at the rays and saying, that's God. That was God to me. And I see it now, through the clouds. We've had a few storms here, and you could see the rays coming down, and I'm going, that's God, and it just reminds me to just open up. Just open up to the feeling, open up to the possibilities, open up to the spiritual essence of what's in front of me. And so Today, this is about really us becoming that true light, becoming luminous, becoming love, and becoming, really the truth is, to be free. To be free, to be authentic, and not like the Instagram pictures of the woman that's showing who she is in real life, and then they fixed her up. We don't have to go into that. We're really here to be confident in who we are and to illumine what we have inside of us. And I love this, but I always say to you guys, give it away. I'll probably say that a couple times. You have to give it away. When you really give away that which you know, that love that you have in your heart, that thing that you're trying to, there's some teachers in the room, when you know you have a precious soul in front of you, or parents, and you can say, you got this. And you have illumined them. You have made them better. But this doesn't just come in our physical being. Where that illumination comes from is our soul. It's a deeper meaning than just walking in the world. It's about being and living in the world with your soul. What is your real purpose? What are you really doing here? And if you're retired, I have to tell you, you have more work to do. You have more work to do, more work to give, more work to illumine in the world. The theme of this year for CSL, Centers for Spiritual Living, has been rising higher and growing deeper, your inner light. The thing about this is, if you're here today, what you're here to hear is that as you are illuminating yourself, is that people are looking at you and saying, what do you have? I remember when I started in Science of Mind, it was like, I don't know, maybe a month into this. I knew nothing about what they were doing. But I saw all these practitioners and people walking around, and they were happy, they were illumined, they were positive, they were like, you know the answer. I don't know how you know that, but I went, I want to be like you. And in fact, I went up to his name was Jerry. I can't remember his last name. I went up to him and I said, I want to have what you have. I want to have that in my life, because when I know I have that in my life, I can then give it away to somebody else. Or I will just feel better, because I felt pretty awful back then. I just will feel better. And so I'm going to start out with a quote, and I apologize. I don't even know who this person is, but she says some really important things. She says, the still small voice reminds me that everything I see, everything I believe is just a story I made up. The real me is kind, giving, in deep communion with all of creation. The real me is a true force for love. Pam Grout.
She's the E squared lady.
Is she? Okay, thank you. E squared lady. The real me is a true force for love. And that's really the bottom line. And this has come up several times this week, but somebody told me this week, they said, people either give love, either giving it, or they need love. They want love. And so we have to look at that in our interactions in life and in different situations, and instead of going into, I'm going to get mad at you because you're not telling me what I want to hear, we go, what is it they're looking for? They're looking for love, recognition, something. And as spiritual beings, and if you're here today, you are a spiritual being, we are here to support them in giving that love. We have a bigger role to play than just doing the game. The game doesn't work. So I'm going to introduce you to somebody 800 years old. And some of you, One Heart, One Mind, know this person. But if anybody else know it, I want you to tell me who that is. St. Francis, yeah, of Assisi. And in this talk they wrote, he's not your bird bath statue in your aunt's backyard. He's not. He's not. He's a revolutionary mystic who renounced wealth, status, and ego. Wealth, status, and ego. And in doing so, became a living light of compassion and kinship. And he still lives today, because you know him. You recognize him. Although I like that bird bath. I was thinking I'd like that at my property. I have a lot of birds on my property. In fact, I have so many birds on my property, the cats sit under the tree watching them eat, and I'm going, oh God, no, don't do that. Don't go after those birds. They're too much fun. Michael Dunn says this, and he's someone who has written about St. Francis. He says, St. Francis taught me about living in kinship with all humanity and all creation. Francis didn't just change his lifestyle, he underwent a radiant transformation of entire being. He became radically present, radically free, and radically kind. Isn't that nice to feel like, God, I can just be present in this moment. I'm free to be who I am. I'm authentic, and I can be kind. On the way here, I had to get water for us because we've run out. And I saw this guy. I'm going to get emotional. I saw this guy rummaging through the trash. And I said to him, are you hungry? He said, yeah, I'm starving. I said, okay, well, let me give you some money. Well, I didn't have any money. I said, let's go into 7-Eleven and I'll buy you whatever you want. And so we went around. I was only going to do $10. Well, we went around and he picked like 4 things out. And I said, is that all you want? And he was happy with that. It was $15.49. Who cares how much it was? And I thought, this is what we're here for. We see somebody that's hungry. You got a dime, you give them a dime. It doesn't matter. Giving away our love brightens them up. And so when I drove away, he's smoking a cigarette, drinking his coffee, and having some food. And I thought, now that's what we do here. And I look at it like this. God gave me the money. Source gave me the intuition, the feeling, the love in my heart. And it's okay for me to give it away because maybe that just changed him. And the thing is, he was clean cut too. But he had bad teeth and he didn't smell pretty, but he was a good guy. And we have those in our neighborhood. And I'm not here to lecture you on that, but Richard Rohr, somebody I really like a lot, explains the root of the Francis's change was freedom for both Jesus and Francis was purely and simply freedom of the self, which is precisely freedom for the world. We have a bigger job here. But when you really feel free inside of you, do you know what I'm talking about? What that freedom is? When you're kind of like, okay, I'm okay. Everything's going to be fine. Do you know what? I want to see some heads. You know what that is? Yes. Some part of you goes, yeah, I am. Then that means that we're free of our small self. We're free of fear. We're free of trying to make somebody out to be wrong. We're free and available to be the healing center of the world, or the healing center of the present moment. That is our work. It's not about to compete. It's not about to say, there are a lot of churches around this area. Do you think I compete with them? No, I don't really care. I know they're all giving the same message of love, of freedom, of being a better person, of whether it doesn't matter if it's the Bible or the Korah or Quran, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It matters that we're just learning. It will be on more than 10 minutes here. The point is, we're all trying to do our best. We're all trying to learn from each other. And that is the work that we're supposed to be doing. John Sweeney, who is a publisher and author of St. Francis of Assisi, offers a spiritual practice, and that's what we're going to do today. And this may feel kind of weird, but I thought about this as I was contemplating and writing about this. Sometimes I think we need something to remind us of how to be. So I'm going to ask you right now to look at your feet. Just look at your feet. Now I want you to think about your feet. Do they carry you towards people in need, or do they carry you away from discomfort? Think about it. What is it your feet are taking you towards? This is really important. Now I want you to put your hand on your heart, and I want you to put your heart in your feet. Just imagine they're going from here, and they're now a part of your feet. You have 2 hearts. You have 3 hearts now. One inside and one that's 2 that are walking towards something good. Bringing that towards you. Okay? Just as Michelle talked about, being radiant isn't just about what's inside of you. It's about moving outward into the world. With your hands and your mouth and the actions that you are. It's about doing something more. So here's the next one. I want you to take your hands out, and I want you to look at your fingertips. And now look at your palms. And I want you to picture in your mind what they have recently touched or carried. Just today. What have they done today? I know what you're doing. I was touching my kitty cat who decided that she was going to sleep with me this morning. I raised my head, and then all of a sudden she's right behind me. I'm like, what are you doing there? And so we shared the pillow. All right? What did your hands hold, perhaps this morning before you got here? What did they hold? What did they touch? What have they recently given away? What have your hands given away? Those hands of yours can be used to hurt, or they can be used to heal and help. I want you to remember, that's why it's the feet, the hands, and we'll get to the other in a minute. What do you use your hands for? What do you use your hands for? I've been putting fertilizer in my orange tree. That's what they were being used for this weekend. Here's a really important question. Are you gentle with your hands? Or do we just take it for granted? Okay, they're just there. Oh, that one hurt. You know what I mean? Are we gentle with our hands? They are special. We don't know how much we need them until we don't have them.
That's right.
That's right. How many people have had any kind of surgery in their hand? How about a shot in your hand? I just had 2 trigger fingers, and they put 2 shots in there. It's not fun. Absolutely. It really, I'll talk to you later about that.
It hurts.
It hurts like, yes. I had some good words that day. Yes, and she didn't stop. She just kept, I'm like, no, stop. And the other question is did anyone teach you to be gentle with your hands? No. We don't think about this. We just do our work, and we hit it with a hammer. You know what I mean? We're not gentle. So I want you to start thinking about your hands and what does it give? Does it give love to you? Does it give to something you're creating? Does it give something to music? Sylvia and Lucille back there do music. Do you create with it? And do you take care of it? Now, I want you to just put your hands over your mouth. And you can take them down now. What does your mouth do most often? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I like that. Does it laugh? Does it laugh a lot? Enough? Okay. Does it kiss? Yes. My kitten, my dog got lots of kisses this morning. Is your mouth honest? Is it really honest? Is it bringing forth love? Do you use your mouth to speak in ways that are kind? And if not, I invite you to look at, I do this all the time. I had a massage yesterday. This is the best masseuse I have ever had in my entire life. And afterwards, you're very vulnerable. And I always say something, and after I leave her, I go, why did I say that? Why did I bring that up? That wasn't even necessary. So I'm really thinking about now, how am I after I have a massage? I need to just be inside instead of bringing something up that doesn't have any meaning at all. So how are we speaking? Are we being kind? And then he also says, I think it's possible to throw words at people the way we throw things. Being careless or cautiously causing damage. We should be kind with our mouth. That's something we really practice here. You know, we have many activities going on here. Many. And I do that because I believe that we come to God or spirituality or whatever belief system we have. We come here to learn about ourselves in different ways. The more we learn about ourselves in different ways, the better people we become. And so, in my humble opinion, nobody competes with anybody. And if there's a competitiveness around that, I squelch it. It doesn't work here. It will never work here. So, and I do that because when we come here, this is a sanctuary of love. This is a sanctuary of kindness. This is a sanctuary of, I maybe don't understand what you're telling me or understand. I can't tell you how many classes where I've sat at a table and I've said something wrong. In fact, I said something wrong to somebody and I humbly cried with them and apologized. Because to me, that brings forth a bigger healing than me telling them that they can't do that. Even if they took up too much time, that's what needed to happen at that moment. And that's who we are. We're here to heal. We're here to love. We're here to learn from each other, because I tell you, the reason why she's here is because I do not know everything. Yes, you're it.
I'm shocked.
Not me.
And a bag of chips.
And a bag of chips, that's right. And that's why we have different speakers here, because I don't, and I don't want to be known for everything. I bring what I bring, and that's the gift I bring. And if you like it, great. If you don't, oh well, there's somebody else maybe you'll like. And it's not an ego thing. It's about making sure that you have all the tools you need to go out in the world and be a better person. You know what I mean? You get that? That's really important to me. Science of Mind says this, and yeah, we are going to go over a few more minutes. But this is Ernest Holmes. He says, can we talk to God? He says, love does not overcome hate and fear through controversy, argument, or force, but by a subtle power of transformation, just as light overcomes darkness. As you talked about light and darkness. Love overcomes that. So if you're struggling with somebody that's difficult, give them a compliment. That's love. Compliment them on their whatever it is, because it doesn't take anything away from you. You just are then giving that good, and that good will go a long ways. I have another example. Everybody knows about the caterpillar and the butterfly, right? The huge transformation that goes there. I mean, think about, it really blows my mind when I think about a caterpillar, if it was walking across here and it ends up over here being a butterfly. You know, that caterpillar doesn't know what's going to happen. But there's something inside of it that says, there's more to life than what you're doing, you know? You don't have to eat off the ground. You can fly away. And so what it does is it trusts the process and the natural process of the universe to take place. How many people have either raised caterpillar to butterfly, seen that process? It's pretty cool. It is really pretty cool. We did it a couple years ago, and the babies keep coming back. You know, it's kind of neat. But to think about how this caterpillar actually goes into this cocoon. They call it the chrysalis. Chrysalis. Thank you. And it entirely breaks down into nothingness. I mean, just think about that. I mean, that's just incredible that it just moves into the nothingness that it was, and then all of a sudden reformats itself to be something incredible. And then to watch it break through that, and then start to bring its wings out. I mean, and you just go, oh my God, it's happening. That's when you come. It's the same thing as when you come to a spiritual place. That's exactly what we want you to do. Some people call it born again. I call it awakening. You are awakening to the magnificence of who you are, and all these little things that you learn here, no matter where it comes from, can move you there. The only thing I have to say about that, the only thing I have to say is don't ever stop. You know what I mean? When you stop, what do you think happens? The universe says, okay, I'll see you later. Whatever you want to live, I'm going to go help somebody else. Moved off the camera there. Don't stop. Even if it's just going to the mountains and watching the illumination of the sun going down, or it's going to Laguna Mountains, you're going to the beach, go find something that fills you up, that fills your heart up, that feels, you feel that, I'm getting chills, you feel that illumination of God moving through you. And whatever that is, it's it. Go find it. Find it and keep it. Because when you do that, what you're doing is you're merging what I call the true self. That which is important in this world that we have right now. Important in the sense that we have to then illumine or be with other people. Even people we don't agree with or we don't understand. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's about just being present in the moment, being present with that individual or that situation, and then coming from love, which I talked about earlier. So, I could talk for another 10 minutes, but I won't. So I have an affirmation. I'm not sure if this is the one you use, but it probably is. I want us to say this together. And I want you to say it together, and I think this is the same quote. But then I'm going to have you close your eyes, and I'm going to repeat it to you as you. Nope, I guess I didn't put it in here. So, here it is. I am a brilliant, luminous being. Say that. I am a brilliant, luminous being, unfolding in divine light. So I want you to close your eyes now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say this to you 2 more times. Because I want you to embody this. And maybe even put your hand on your heart. You don't have to repeat. Just listen to the words as you light up this room. I am a brilliant, luminous being. Being. You don't have to repeat me. Just listen and feel it and be it. Unfolding in divine light. I am a brilliant, luminous being. Unfolding in divine light. Just as Francis showed us, transformation isn't about perfection. It's about being present. It's about being free of the self and stepping boldly into love. And so I'm just going to close with a prayer, and then we'll bring Lauren Grace back on. So as you hold your heart, I want you to know that you are connected to something greater than you've ever experienced. It is that luminous light that's coming down into your life, moving through your life and through you to create good in the world. You are always connected. There's no place where God is not, or spirit, or whatever word you call it. It's always with you. And at any moment, all you have to do is close your eyes and say, reveal to me that which you are, and be with me, and allow whatever good thought to come forward. And so I know and accept today, as we learn and we embody this truth of who we are, we do one thing with it, and that is we go give it away to somebody, one person, to practice with our hands, practice with our feet, practice with our mouth, giving away that good. And knowing that as we do that, we multiply that because someone else is going to give it away again. And as they give it away, another person takes it. And we start to change the environment that happens to be going on right now. We change and we have an influence over the goodness of who we are into the world. So I accept today that that's the work we're doing, that's the work we have been doing, and it's the work we continue to do. And so I bless each of you for being willing to do all of this. And you don't have to go change the world. Just take one person. Think of one person right now that you just want to go and call and say, I love you. Or talk to your child who maybe gave you a hard time today and just say, you know what, I love you. No matter what, I love you. Because they will remember. So with that, I give great thanks for the willingness to be here, to hear the message from both of us, to know that the divine moves through you. And with that, I release these words knowing that we have spread a lot of good today, and there's more to give. And join me in saying, and so it is.